To disassemble and reassemble your Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini, you will need a small Phillips and bladed screwdriver and a plastic separation tool, or you can use a thumbnail. Make sure the phone's switched off and remove the rear cover and your battery. Make sure you take out the SD memory card and your SIM card. Now we need to undo 10 Phillips screws around the outside edge. You can skip this or any other stage by clicking next at the top of the video. Don't worry about getting these screws mixed up, as they are all the same size. Now, using a thin plastic tool or a guitar pick, we need to release 2 clips each side at the bottom. Gently lift the back away and you'll feel it release, and the clips locate in a small groove just there. Same with this side. Lift the casing away and the clip locates in there. Now we can lift the rear housing away. This contains a few antennas. This is for your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and the antenna can be seen from the back, and this antenna along the top is for your GPS. This is a moisture indicator, and these are the connections for your 3G and GSM antenna, which goes across here. Now you can remove the power button. And the volume key. If you need to replace the loudspeaker or the headphone jack, then start by disconnecting these flex cables. This is for the home and touch keys, and this one's for the micro SD tray. Before we can lift the main board up, we need to release the earpiece. And if you need to replace the headphone socket or loudspeaker, disconnect this flex cable. And now gently lift the main board up, but take your time as the main screen is still connected. So lift the main board slightly away and then disconnect the screen. To remove the headphone socket or loudspeaker, we need to undo this single silver screw. This is slightly smaller than the others, so you can't get it mixed up. And there you'll find that lifts away. If you need to remove the main camera, then lift this small locking bar up. That releases the cable, and then you can take your replacement and put that back in, and make sure it's completely straight, and push the little bar back down again. If you need to replace your forward facing camera, lift the small bar up and again put your replacement back in. This is the infrared LED and ambient light sensor, which acts as your proximity sensor. If you need to replace the earpiece, you need to use a small tip soldering iron to solder your new one in place. This is your volume up and down switch. This is a test port for your 3G and GSM antenna connections, and the micro USB can be changed using a hot air soldering iron to heat up all these connections at the same time. This is the main microphone, the mass memory, and the CPU and DDRM. And this is the power switch. If you have a new screen that doesn't come with this metal casing, then you need to use heat to separate the glass screen away from the rear frame. You can follow the link at the top or in the description to see how to do this. If you need to replace your micro SD tray, then use a small screwdriver or a pointed tool and gently lever the circuit board away from the case. If you warm this up with a fan heater or a hairdryer, you'll find it will come away a lot easier. If your new screen doesn't come with this rubber microphone gasket, then lift that out and transfer that over to your new screen assembly. The home key flex assembly can only be replaced by removing the screen. This is another moisture indicator, and to remove the vibrating motor, use a small screwdriver or pointed tool and lift that away from the case, and using a small bladed screwdriver carefully lift the circuit away from the casing. Again, if you use some heat to soften the adhesive, this will lift away a lot easier. Now we have removed all the components from the screen assembly, you can take your new screen and start reassembling. So place the vibrating motor back into the casing and make sure the small hole in the circuit lines up with the small pin in the chassis. Make sure your new screen comes with this proximity sensor gasket. If it doesn't come with your new screen, make sure you transfer it from the old one. If you forget to put this in, your screen will go blank during voice calls. And now we can replace the micro SD tray. This will only go in the correct way, and just give it a gentle push down on the edges to make sure the double-sided tape holds it in place. Before putting the mainboard back on, we need to replace the speaker and headphone socket assembly. Solder this into place. Make sure that small tag locates, and now we can replace that small screw. Now we can reconnect the loudspeaker and the headphone socket. And plug your screen back into the mainboard. Now gently bring the mainboard down and make sure it sits down nicely. and make sure the earpiece is fully located into the metal housing. Now we can reconnect the flex cables. This one's for your home and touch keys, and this one's for your micro SD tray. Replace the volume key. Make sure the little tags each end locate onto the pins, and your power button. Again, make sure the small tags locate onto the pins each side. Once you're satisfied everything's connected nicely, you can replace the rear housing. Place the top on first, and then push it all the way down, and come down to the bottom. And now we can replace those 10 Phillips screws. Before you replace the battery, insert your micro SD card and your SIM card. Then put your rear cover back on. And you now have a fully repaired Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and give me the thumbs up, and I'll be sure to make some more.